Welcome, Keto Rock Stars. This is your host, your funny favorite food addict, Rockin Keto Amy Davis. As always, please remember to hit that like, subscribe, and share button so it helps me grow my channel. I hope everybody's doing good tonight. Let's say hi to a few people. Just Jason Keto's in the house. He says, happy Sunday, everyone. Carrie's here. He says, just getting home from helping to move from the little church to our permanent home in the big church since they were fighting the insurance company for 4 years. I will have to save this recipe to try. And again, he says, I will want to try these biscuits one day. They're really good, Carrie. I've made them several times. And Carrie also says this recipe sounds wonderful. And thank you, Carrie, for hitting that button a trillion times. Oh, awesome, Carrie. Someone gifted Carrie 2 dozen eggs from their chicken from church. That is wonderful. And we just had a little emoji float across the screen. Just Jason Keto saying hi. Hi to everybody. And Carrie says, you're welcome. And yes, it's a great and cheesy day. Oh, I have a joke for you. What do you call a cow with no legs? Ground beef. Haha. Everybody telling everybody hi. Ooh. Carrie says, you're still surviving. That's awesome. Day by day. Take it minute by minute, day by day. Evelyn's here. Hey, Evelyn. She says, hello, friends. We love our Evelyn. Everybody's saying hi to everybody. Yes, Evelyn says, what a blessing, Carrie. Free eggs. Yes, it was. They are cool looking eggs. And Lynn, 22 Q Cat, is in the house. Happy Sunday, Lynn. Thank you for joining us. Everybody telling Lynn hi. Lynn telling everybody hi. Oh, April's here. Hello. And she is one of our awesome moderators. And my dad is in the house. So, Dad, if you want, when I get done with this recipe, I'm going to need a drink of water here because I'm coughing. When I get done with this recipe, I can bring you over a sample if you want. Sorry, I have a tickle in my throat for some reason. Hopefully that goes away. Evelyn says, what do you call a cow with 2 legs? Is that a question or a joke? Evelyn, do you have the answer for that? Because I don't. And Jason's telling April and my dad, Jim Duval, hi. Carrie says, Rockin Keto Amy, a cow with only 3 legs is lean beef. And when the cows are on the ceiling, that's when the stakes are so high. Andy's here. Woohoo! She says, hi, Amy. Timing is good, I guess. And then everybody's saying hi. Okay. Yeah, Dad's happy because he's going to get to try a sample. Okay. So, what we are making tonight, as you probably guessed from the thumbnail, we are making Keto Crack Biscuits. This is not my recipe, so I posted a link to the creator's recipe. It actually comes from a website called plainchicken.com. And then I'm going to use a homemade ranch seasoning that I kind of came up with from a bunch of different ranch seasoning recipes. And we're going to walk through that as well. You can use packets of ranch, but they're not totally clean. Oh, Evelyn says it's lean beef. And Carrie says those were some utter humor for you, Amy. Yeah, Lynn, these biscuits are good. I found this recipe and I started making it at holidays when everyone else was having sad bread. And I wanted something that we could have. And I just love this recipe. So it's something I've wanted to show you guys for a while. Carrie says, glad you laughed, Evelyn. I have lots of jokes with sheep that are so bad. That's funny. Okay. So I'm going to start by making the ranch seasoning. So let me go ahead and pull up that recipe. This is really easy too, but again, You could use a packaged like ranch packet, but it's not as clean. So I wanted to do this in case people wanted a cleaner option. All right, so I'm gonna switch my camera here. I have just a little glass bowl here. And this is gonna call for, and I have a lot of stuff out here, so I have to find everything. 2 teaspoons of dried parsley. So we're gonna start with that. Oh, weird. My bot is running, but it's not doing what it's supposed to do. So again, I'll have to fix that. All right, so 2 teaspoons. Hey, can someone do me a favor? If they have a channel, type in !love bacon. !love bacon. If you have a channel, and it should post your channel. I thought I fixed that. Okay. So 2 teaspoons of parsley. This is going to make our ranch seasoning. And then 1 teaspoon of seasoned salt. And anybody who knows me, and I say this all the time, I love my Redmond's organic seasoned salt. All right. So 1 teaspoon of this. And it just said seasoned salt, but I always use Redmond's organic seasoned salt. Okay, next. Half a teaspoon of black pepper. So all we're doing here is we're just adding a bunch of seasonings to make our ranch packet equivalent. Ooh, pepper makes me want to sneeze. And I used to not like black pepper, but since I've gone keto, it's grown on me a little bit. I started using it more and more into the recipes. Now this is granulated garlic, so you can use granulated garlic or garlic powder. I interchange them. I don't know if there's a difference. We're going to put in a half a teaspoon of that. And again, I have put all of these recipes in the description. So a half a teaspoon of, your garlic seasoning. It says a quarter of a teaspoon onion, but I'm going to add a half a teaspoon because I always use equal amounts of garlic and onion. So we're just going to do a half a teaspoon here. I'll probably change my recipe to include that. All right. And then this is like a quarter teaspoon of thyme. And I'm not that familiar with thyme, so I'm going to stick to that. I don't want to overpower the thyme. Oh, that's 1/8. I have 1/8, 1/4. If you don't have a good set of measuring spoons, I would get one like this that has 1/8 and 1/4. Some recipes do call for it. The other thing I'm doing is I'm preheating the oven to 400 degrees. All right. Now, dill. We are going to add 1.5 teaspoons of dill. So let me do this one first. And dill just gives it that good ranch, pickly ranch flavor. So 1 and then another like half of dill. Again, that was the dill that we added, dill weed. Okay, let's see. And then 1.5 of chives. And I just have these freeze-dried chives. I'll get the half teaspoon out here and put those in there. So you can see it doesn't take very long at all to add this or to make the seasoning. And then 1/4 teaspoon of mustard powder. So we're going to add that. Okay. So I just added that in there. And then we're going to mix this all together. I'm just going to use a spoon here. We're just going to combine this all together to make a ranch seasoning packet. All right, so that looks pretty good. We're going to set this aside for a second. Let's go through a little bit more chat, get caught up with that, and then I'm going to show you how to make the actual biscuits. All right, let me get my mouse here. Everyone telling everybody hi. Lynn says those biscuits look good. Yeah, they're good. Andy says twice in one day. Evelyn must be kismet. Andy says, so I can tell Dustin that he shouldn't worry anymore, Evelyn. Carrie says, Rockin Keto Amy has to catch the bot since it's running. Yeah, it was bouncing all over the screen. I saw that. And Andy says she just made a pork shoulder roast that tasted so yummy. Best dinner. I'll be there in what, 4.5 hours? Because I'm hungry. Carrie says, one day I will have to put back in some seasonings. I had a skin rash for some reason a couple of years ago with the heat in the house. I had a heat rash. It was very bad. I just used red mint. Yeah, totally understandable. And also, this recipe uses almond flour. So if you are allergic to nuts, you would have to find another flour to substitute. Yeah, carry the salt. Amy is such a big deal using that dill seasoning. That's so funny. Lynn says, I just put chicken thighs in the Instant Pot. No clue how they'll turn out. I always do chicken breasts. Instant Pot never fails me though. Yeah, Instant Pot recipes are great and they're easy and they cook while you can do other things. Carrie says that chicken sounds so good. Andy says, point of healing, Susan just mowed the lawn after her 1-year heart surgery. Took it slow, but we did it together. Way to go, Susan. We are so proud of you. Let me do something for you to celebrate. Let's do this. Yay! We're so happy for Susan. Way to go, Susan. Carrie says, I had some pink salmon and some boiled eggs that I had that were from the store. I have the other eggs just sitting out on the table in the kitchen. Oh, here you go. It's working. If you would like to share your channel in the chat, type !love bacon and your channel will be automatically shared. And guess what? Rick from Twin Brook Acres is here. Welcome, Rick. Maybe this will be the first recipe of mine that you try. Okay, we're going to take a break from the chat because we got to get moving on the rest of this recipe here. So let me switch back over to my camera. And then what I have here is a big glass bowl. And I recommend using a big glass mixing bowl because we're going to have to microwave this part of it. So glass or ceramic or something. Oh, it worked. Andy's channel just got shared. Thank you for testing that, Andy. So anybody who wants to share their channel, just type !love bacon and your channel will be shared. Okay, so I have my glass bowl here. What we're going to do, I have 4 ounces of cream cheese. I'm actually going to cut this up into little squares and put it in the bowl because we have to nuke this in the microwave. So I'm cutting this up. This is a half a brick. And it's been sitting out a little while just because I was getting my live stream ready. So probably softening it is not a bad idea. Okay, so we're going to put cream cheese. And then I have 2 cups of mozzarella cheese here. And we're going to put that in here as well. And it says we're going to microwave this on high for 1 minute. So hopefully you can see me take this over to the microwave. We're going to stick this in here for 1 minute. It's out of here. Alrighty. So we're microwaving that. Meanwhile, pork shoulder sounds so good. It really does. That flour is so nuts. Yes, it is, Carrie. People tell Lynn hi. Lynn, Carrie says the thigh meat for chicken is fatty, so it should be good. Yes, it is. It's the best part, honestly. Way to go, the one that had a win. And then Andy typed exclamation love bacon. And so my little stream elements function is working. If you have a channel and you'd like to share it, type exclamation point love bacon. And he goes, that was fun. Yes, that was so much fun. You want to see something else fun? How about dancing bacon? We do this one. I have dancing bacon too. That's fun too. Carrie says, "Well, I didn't know they made a measuring bowl that huge." I don't know if I bought that. I think it's oh, what are those parties you can go to? Dad said, "Love bacon." Hey, Dad, it shared your channel. Needs a bit of fine tuning. Carrie says, "I'm working on a portfolio to show off myself and my computer skills. Yesterday, I got some of it working. The buttons on the About Me page. That is awesome. Way to go. I will get it so that way all the devices can see the page. That is cool." All right, so it's done. Let me check it here. Hopefully it's not too hot. Okay, let me stir this up. I want to show this to you because it might need to go back in. I don't think it's probably the bowl. And full disclosure, I have not made this recipe in a while. I have made the recipe. I didn't test it this week, but I have made it. Let me use this knife to get. So we're gonna microwave it. I don't know, maybe 30 seconds more, 40 seconds more. Okay, so I stirred it up a little bit. And then sticking it back in. Let's try 30 seconds. All right. So I got it back in the microwave for 30 seconds. Dad says, I just shared someone else's site. It says at Jim Duvall, Dad. Rockin Keto Amy, you must have gotten that measuring bowl. What is that called? I have a lid for it. Pampered Chef. I think it's a Pampered Chef bowl. So, oh, by the way, can you see my subscriber count up here? I got a few more subscribers this week. I'm up to 145. I'm displaying that every week so we can cheer on. The goal is 1,000. So, all right, let's go check this. Someone's giving me a thumbs up because it's floating on the screen. All right, let's get this out and stir it up a little more. See what's going on here. It might be done. All right, this is what it looks like. I think it's mostly melted. All right, so let me get this off the spoon here. It's like if you've ever made the cheese dough, that's what it's like. Okay, so this is what we have. Then I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Yeah, now you guys figured out that you can float stuff all over the screen. But that's okay, that's fun. All right, 2 teaspoons of baking powder. So we're going to put that in here. Okay, got that in there. The next ingredient is we have 3 eggs. So, and these are farm fresh eggs that I got at the meetup last month. They should still be good because they're farm fresh. I'm almost through all of them. I got 5 dozen from Stacy. Those of you who know Stacy. So that's why they're brown. 3. So 3 eggs go in here. All right. Okay. Then after the eggs, we're going to add the ranch mix. Now, it says 2 teaspoons of this. Let me look at my notes. 2 teaspoons of this is a packet. All right, so I got 1 teaspoon. Let me just make sure of that. 2 teaspoons. Let me go back to my ranch recipe. Find that. Oh, 2 tablespoons. So you know what? We're going to add another tablespoon in here. I thought something sounded off. All right, so I'm going to add another tablespoon and we'll call it at that. Okay. Let me go back to the Crack Keto Biscuit recipe. Okay, so we added our ranch dressing mix. Then we have 1.5 cups of almond flour. Again, if you can't have almond flour, you might be able to try sunflower or coconut, but the coconut's going to give it a coconut taste, just so you know. Okay, then it says stir well. So we're going to mix all this in here. And you could, I probably should have done this in the stand-up mixer, but it's okay. We're just going to use a fork because not everybody has a stand-up mixer. So it'd be good just to see. And this is like a dough. I mean, and it does smell ranchy. So that's a good sign. Okay, so we're combining this pretty well. Obviously the cheese is a little weird because it's melted gooey, ooey, gooey cheese. Oh, but that does smell like ranch. It smells delicious. And of course I'm fasting, so it's very trying to make yummy, delicious, good smelling recipes when you're fasting. Okay. That's pretty well combined. It's pretty good. So what I'm going to do next, the next step is to stir in 1 cup of cheddar cheese. Yes, there's one little string of mozzarella in there that can go in there. All right, so 1 cup of cheddar cheese and a 1/2 cup of cooked diced bacon. Because you know, my favorite is bacon. One of my favorite foods is bacon, so we have to add that. So we're going to mix this together until it's well combined. And honestly, I'm so hungry. I would probably eat this just like this. I would probably just eat, it's like eating cookie dough, right? Bacon dough, bacon cheese dough. I mean, the only thing that's in here is raw eggs, but some people eat raw eggs. All right, so that looks pretty good. That's what we have here is this gooey, gooey dough stuff that smells delicious. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do, I have sprayed, I don't know if this is 10 inches, I think it's 10 inches, but I have sprayed a cast iron skillet, and I use avocado oil, and I bought this little sprayer on Amazon. It works really well. And then we're going to roll these into, oh, and they're going to stick to my hands, but that's okay. We're going to roll them into balls, 10 or 12 balls, and I don't know how big I made these before, but we'll do it. And I'm going to get the stuff all over my hands, and then we're going to stick the balls into this cast iron skillet that has been sprayed. So, no, if you're doing this with your bare hands, which you probably will, you're going to get, your hands are going to get messy. And that's okay. All right. It says to make 10. I have another cast iron skillet if these don't all fit. I'm not going to touch my computer right now. So chat amongst yourselves and we will get caught up, I promise. I'm trying to make them all about the same size. or close to. They might not all fit in here, so I may do a separate skillet, which should be fine. Now, if you don't have a cast iron skillet, I really recommend that you get one. But if you don't have one, you could probably spray a baking dish, your favorite baking dish. Okay, yeah, these aren't all going to fit in here. So, and I'm probably making them bigger because it said 10 to 12. I have 7. It'll be close though. All right, let me wash my hands off real quick. And I'm going to grab this other skillet. I wasn't sure if I would need it or not, but we're going to need it. And this is heated up a little bit because it was on the stove. Okay, so let me move this one out and this one in. And we're going to spray this. I didn't spray it because I didn't know if I would need it or not. All right, we're going to continue rolling the rest of these. Oh, there's only 2. We're only going to have 2 more. I feel like I could adjust that other skillet, but we're going to do this. I'm going to take some off of this one, make them a little even. Oh, man. All right. So we only have 2 in this one, but that's okay. All right, so I'm going to put my things. I just touched my computer after I said I wasn't gonna. So the next thing we got to do is we're going to put these in the fridge for 10 minutes. It says put them in the fridge. Another thing I'm going to tell you, so we're going to set a timer. We're going to put these in the fridge, and then we're going to talk. Let me just get these. I'm just going to put them uncovered in the fridge, and then we're going to talk a little bit. Ziggy, a timer for 10 minutes.
10 minutes, starting now.
Yeah, these are really, really good. Let me get this out of the way. All right, so we set our timer for 10 minutes. Let me come back over to the camera. We'll talk. We'll go through some chat. That is cool, Rockin Keto Amy. Pampered Chef, from what I hear, is good stuff. Yeah, I think that was given to me. I don't think I bought. I did buy one. I have 2 of them. I have a smaller one and a bigger one, and I can't remember which one I bought, the smaller or the bigger one. Lynn says, more subscribers. Yay, I know. And then thank you, Evelyn. Evelyn says, please hit that like button. I would greatly appreciate it. Carrie says that dough is so great than cheese dough. I was told today that I had to crack the eggs in a bowl to see how the eggs are, since I could get, a baby chick in the egg. I will have to see. Some of the eggs were very big. That's interesting. Carrie says you can knead the dough, but since it's almond flour, it won't get the gluten like if you use the regular flour. Yes, correct. And Lynn says, went to the store to buy eggs yesterday. The door of the egg fridge had yellow caution, caution, caution tape all over it. Tape everywhere. It looked like a crime scene. Oh no, the door had fallen off. Oh wow. Yeah, that is funny stuff, like Carrie says. Rick says someone must have broke the door trying to run off at the expense of, they probably put a lock on it and someone tried to break in. And Carrie, you're so funny. He says, bacon dough sound Gouda to eat. It is Gouda to eat. Oh, so another thing I've done with this recipe, because when I'm cooking for holidays, it's kind of like a crazy crime scene in here. So I have actually made the dough the night before and put like a damp paper towel covering it to keep the balls moist in the skillet. And then I bake them in the morning. So I have done that and it has worked. So in case you guys are trying to prep stuff ahead of time, you can make these the night before you need them, put a damp paper towel over them to cover them, and then we'll keep them kind of moist. Yeah, Lynn. People fight over the eggs. That store has a limit of 2. I just make several trips while I'm on to various stores, and that's how I keep up on my eggs. Carrie says, Rachel from Too Crazy Keto yells balls when they have something like this. Yeah, I have heard her say balls a lot. They're so funny. They make me laugh. Lynn, I don't like that when they limit stuff at the store. I don't either. That just makes people want to rush out and buy more. Andy says that's when my type A personality comes out. My food scale measures the weight of the collapse of dough. So there, yeah, you probably would. I tried to make them as even as possible, but for the purposes of this video, I'm not going to measure them or anything. And Andy says dollops. And thank you, Carrie. He says those biscuits look Gouda. Carrie says I follow a person and they went to a shop in London and the eggs were on a shelf and I thought that was so cool. The person was like, what is that? And I was told how they didn't need to be in the fridge. Yeah, no, they don't. If they're I still put mine in the fridge because I have a system of organizing my eggs from oldest to newest, and I want to use them in the order that they're like first in, first out. If anybody knows accounting, so it's kind of that. We may be on a little longer than an hour because once the 10 minutes is up, I have to bake these for 20 minutes. But I have been summoned for jury duty in the morning. So I have to get up early. I don't know. Has anybody been to jury duty? I normally cook my own breakfast at home, but I'm not going to have time. So I'm going to figure out, do I need to pack a lunch, leave it in my car? I mean, I'm assuming they let you break for lunch. But I'm probably going to grab some hard-boiled eggs in the morning. I am supposing you can't take coffee into the courtroom. So they're not going to want me as a juror if I haven't had at least 20 to 40 ounces of coffee. Woohoo! Dustin's in the house. Welcome, Dustin. We are making Keto Crack Biscuits. And they are so good. It's like loaded, when you say like loaded mashed potato or loaded biscuits, the Fido system I know so well from when I worked in restaurants. When I was buying eggs, they didn't last long. Yeah. Yep. And Carrie telling Dustin hi. Man, I don't even have. This is really going to kill me once I put these in the oven. They're going to smell so, as Carrie says, Gouda. Ooh, marinated skirt steak. Do tell. Pew, pew, pew. Loaded biscuits. That is so funny. I have a sip of water here. The other thing I have to share, I had some really good news this week. So I've been living this proper human diet lifestyle for 7 years, down 110 pounds. My labs have just continued to get better and better. But my doctor retired, I don't know, a couple years ago, and I got a new doctor. And I made the mistake of telling her, instead of saying I was on a whole food diet, I told her I was on a ketogenic diet, and she freaked out. And so she's like, I got to see you every 3 months. So I've been having to go every 3 months for the last 2 years. And this time I saw her, my cholesterol was the lowest it's been since, and I don't worry about my cholesterol except for the fact that she hounds me about it. It's been in the 230s, 240s. It did get up over 300 before when I was heavy. And this time she looked at me and she's like, you don't have to come back for a year. I have one pill. I've gotten off all medications. I have one pill. It's an allergy type prescription medication. It's because I live with cats. I'm allergic to cats, and that allergy has even gotten better, but I still need this medication to live with the cats. Dustin says, hi, Andy and Carrie. The gang's all here. I love it. And thank you all for joining me tonight. It means so much to spend time with you, whether it's on this channel or on someone else's channel. Dustin says, I bought it already pre-marinated from Costco. Ooh. So it's probably not the cleanest, but it's delicious. Exactly. And, you can't go all the time worrying about and you've said this before, Dustin, worrying about every single ingredient, because there is a point where you can make yourself go crazy. And full disclosure, we had Polish food catered. I don't know if anybody knows what Polish food is like, but it's basically breaded fried chicken, Polish sausage, the Polish thick egg noodles, mashed potatoes and gravy, rolls. And I had chicken a couple of days last week. I pulled the skin off, but it was probably fried in seed oils. Rick says, I was summoned a few times, but I had my own business at the time, so got out of it. My wife was summoned a year or two ago. She said she didn't understand all the legal stuff and she got out of it. They're probably going to dismiss me. I'm not going to say why, but they're probably going to dismiss me. So, but we'll find out tomorrow. All I know is I'm going to be thinking about how hungry I am the whole time because I'm fasting today. And if I don't get enough food by a certain time of day, after a day of fasting, or coffee at least. Yeah, I already bought it from Costco, not the cleanest. That's okay. Carrie says, hi, Dustin, and the steak sounds wonderful. It really does. And Dustin says, hey, Evelyn, and there's a story behind that. So when Dustin talks to his phone in the car and says, call Evelyn, it says it renamed her to Evelyn. So every time he talks to Evelyn, he calls her Evelyn. Everyone telling Dustin hi. Lynn says, I've only done jury duty once and it wasn't fun. A disturbing case of violence. This is a federal case, so I'm being summoned to federal court. So who knows what that could be. She said, I'd rather just watch this stuff on TV. Me too. You will break for lunch though, no worries. Yeah, but I don't want to. So in South Bend, all the restaurants are like, even there's a Jimmy John's down there. Everything's so expensive. So I kind of want to pack my lunch, but I don't have anything made. I usually wash my hair Monday mornings. My hair's not even going to get washed. Everybody telling Dustin hi. And Carrie says the last time I went to the VA for my labs, A1C was at a 4.7, which has been a while. Every time I was trying to get something done, they would ask why I was here. And I just stopped going. Totally get it. Ziggy, how much time on the timer?
You have less than 10 seconds left on your 10-minute timer.
Okay, good enough. Ziggy, stop. That was pretty good, like mental memory. Okay, I'm going to get these out of the fridge. I'm going to show you one last time before they go in what they look like for those just joining us. So we have these Keto Crack Biscuits, and I don't know what just fell down. Oh no. Okay, that just unplugged. Keto Crack Biscuits. I'm probably going to have to plug that back in because my mouse and keyboard are running on that. Give me just a second here. We're going to put these in the oven. All right, hopefully that works. Sorry, I got a lot of behind the scenes stuff happening here. So I'm going to take this over. I'm going to just set it on the stove and get the other one out. And then we're going to pop these in for about 20 minutes and check them. By the way, if you all haven't checked out my taco pizza video, that you have to try that. It's so easy and so good. Okay, I'm going to pop these in here. Ziggy, set timer for 20 minutes.
20 minutes, starting now.
Now, like I said, you can make these ahead of time, like the night before. I have done that, and then I put a wet paper towel over them to cover them to keep them kind of moist. They don't dry out. Yeah, Lynn. It's a long story. But allergic to cats, and you have like 12 of them. So one thing I've noticed about having my own cats, when we get a new one, it takes between 3 to 6 months for me to stop like having allergy cold-like symptoms. But then once I've lived with a specific cat for a long time, they don't bother me. I still have to take the medicine. Now, if I go to someone else's house, I'm not used to their cat. It will bother me. Too bad about the allergy not having cats. Haha. And Carrie says, when my mom was alive, she had 7 cats in the house. We have 4. We just lost one. And then those of you who have been following Miss Audrey Hepburn, she's our latest cat we rescued from a shelter. And last night, she let me pet her for the first time. Andy says, I'm multitasking, creating my binder of documents we're bringing to the German consulate next week, making the directory. There's so many documents needed. Yeah. So those of you who don't know, Andy and Susan are going to Germany because, and I think, weren't you both born there? They're both from military families, I believe. I know Andy is for sure. And so they want to go take a trip to Germany, back to where they are from. Carrie says, Evelyn is from Masters of the Universe. That's a blast from the past. I'm going to have to go back and check that out, Carrie. Yeah, Carrie, your mom was a big cat lover for sure, too. Probably even bigger than me. And Carrie says, yes, she was. When she killed herself, my stepdad got them all home. I'm so sorry about that, Carrie. Lynn says they gave us a menu and we ordered. They paid for your lunch. I don't want, unless they have like a grilled chicken salad or something. I don't want that. I took a keto brick with me when I went to Trinity's doctor's appointment. Friend, I have a keto brick. I kind of wanted to melt it into little individual bite-sized candy type things, but I haven't done that yet. Yeah, and Lynn says, so sorry, Carrie. Yes, I'm sorry for your loss too. And Lynn says, that's the reason why I love the keto bricks portable. Yep. Andy says, I still have the carnivore bar from the Elkhart meetup. It's been from Indiana to Ohio to Colorado and then back again to Ohio. The traveling carnivore bar. So they didn't have enough at the meetup, and Evelyn really wanted to try it. So I gave her mine just because Evelyn is so loving and caring, and she does so much for everybody else. I felt like she should have one if she really had a burning desire to try it. Yes, Audrey is boss. She is so dang cute, but man, she's got some mental blocks in her mind about people. She won't come up. So this is the main level. All of the photos you see of her are in the basement. We have a finished basement. She will not come out of the finished basement. I've gotten her up the stairs a couple of times, and we have a 4-season room that has windows that we can open. So once she discovers that she can kind of go outside without going outside, she's going to be one happy kitty. Yeah, it took 37 years to heal, Carrie. I can't even imagine. Yes, both born there. That's what I thought. Both born there from military dads. And Lynn is asking, are those carnivore bars good, Andy, or was that your only one? I want to try them or maybe make my own. Caleb put out his recipe recent. There's a recipe. So what's this recipe, Lynn? Is it how to make your own carnivore bars, or was it a recipe with the carnivore bar? Caleb's awesome too. If you guys haven't started following his YouTube channel, he's like 16 and he's a carnivore. And Cindy DeManch interviewed him on her channel. So if you want to find out more about Caleb, you can go to her channel and watch that video. Well, the good news is it's not smelling really delicious in here yet. Carrie says 2 of my mom's cats were seal point. Oh, my girlfriend has seal point cats, and the rest were just normal cats. So seal point are Siamese, a special breed of Siamese. You should have seen when she set up the Christmas tree. Yeah, we have the same problem. And all 7 cats jumped into the trees. I laughed. We have had trees knocked over. It's a constant battle with ornaments. Andy says it's the only one I have and I'm afraid to eat it. Why? I'd eat it. Yeah, you're very welcome, Evelyn. I'm glad I was able to give it. I don't think Carl liked it, right? Didn't he try it? And he said he didn't really like it, which I'm glad you told me because my sister on May 11th, Janine, she's not in here tonight, but sometimes she's in my live streams. And we were just interviewed, both of us on Cindy DeManch's channel. She's going to be hiking down to the bottom of the Grand Canyon, I think May 10th or May 11th. And she was wanting to get either carnivore bars or keto brick. And the majority of all of you told me you like keto brick better. So I recommended to her to get keto brick. Oh, Thank you for sharing this, Lynn, because I am, you know me, I'm like really into making my own foods. So Caleb did his own video of how he makes his own carnivore bars, really easy. Dustin says, I never tried carnivore bar or carnivore snacks or carnivore crisp or any of those. They're expensive. I mean, I always said I would never try keto chow because it was expensive. And Paul, who's not in here tonight, Paul, Defense Wiz Paul, my very first ice cream video I made when on my Facebook lives, they were just coming out with the keto or the Ninja Creamy, and I'm like, I'm not paying that kind of money for that. And I had made a comment in my live that I'm never buying a Ninja Creamy. And then Paul called me out on it, and he's like, I just saw where you said you're never buying a Ninja Creamy, and here your next ice cream video was you making ice cream in a Ninja Creamy. And I'm like, yeah, about that. My husband bought me one for Christmas. Carrie says, I have a book that has a recipe to make the carnivore bars from scratch. The last time I had some keto bricks, I took my bread knife. Yeah, they're kind of big. I can't eat the whole thing. And I think I'm going to take a knife, break it down. I guess you can melt them in the microwave and then pour. I don't know if you have to have butter to them or anything. I'll have to figure that out. But I want to melt them down and put them in a candy mold. Lynn says that hike sounds so fun. I do that. I wouldn't. But I've been to the Grand Canyon with my sister. She lives out by probably, I think, maybe somewhere between 3 and 6 hours from the Bears who own Keto Chow. She lives out that way. And she took me to the Grand Canyon, and there's no railing. And you're just walking in a path like this. And I freaked out. My family was walking in front of me, my husband, my brother-in-law, my sister, my nephew who lives out there too. And like they just kept getting further and further ahead of me, and they were like ants, and I chickened out and I turned around and went back. So there's no way I'm going to walk down to the bottom. Carrie says, I had some powdered milk, and so I've been freezing to make some for ice cream. Perfect. Carrie also says you can just take the keto bricks and melt them down. Two Crazy Ketos does that all the time. They put them in molds. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. Maybe I'm going to have to do that tonight and take some of that with me tomorrow so that I have stuff to eat. I also have this issue that I have to wear these retainers for my Invisalign. And you can't drink coffee or do anything like that. So it's like, even if I drink coffee in the car on the way there, I still have to go find a bathroom, brush my teeth. I may just chug as much coffee as I can when I get up in the morning and then deal with that later. Evelyn says, for me, keto chow fills a need of convenience and certain fruits that aren't keto. Oops, what did I do? Hold on. Let me get back to this. And desserts, I'm taking keto bricks on the cruise in order to save some treats and stay in plan. They serve meat. Yes, so I am going to Florida at the end of next month when you guys are all going to be in Indy for the meetup. So I won't see you, but my friends who aren't keto invited us to stay at their house. And so there's oh my gosh, I got to move that up. Hold on. My emojis is down too far. Move that up so everybody can see that because that's hilarious. I love the emojis. Let me move that up. Oh, you guys are making me laugh with these emojis. That's one of the fun things that I was able to program in here was that when you put emojis in, they float around. But anyway, I'm going to Florida next month, and I don't want to be. I kind of wanted to get a VRBO so I could just cook, but they're like $1,500 to $2,000 for a week. So my friends insisted on me staying there. So I already have a plan. I bought a bunch of single packets of keto chow. We're going to take those, probably take one shaker bottle. We're going to probably go to Costco and pick up some hard-boiled eggs. I think you can get a whole big thing of hard-boiled eggs. We can snack on those. We'll get some beef sticks. And we'll take keto chow, and then we'll probably be going out to eat a lot too. Yeah, purse bacon. You can just bring bacon in the bag or purse for the court. Can you even take your purse into court? They say you can take your phone, but anytime I've ever been in a courtroom or in a court, you can't take your phone. Lynn says, there, now they're bouncing all in front. I just saw that Ninja makes an ice cream soft serve maker. Yeah. True Crazy Ketos reviewed that. It looks cool, but it's a little pricey. $3.49 on Amazon. I'll just use my regular. Yeah, just keep her creamy. And Two Crazy Ketos did a review on that, and it's so complicated to clean. So I would never buy that either because they said the cleaning process is just ridiculous. And the creamy does the same thing and it's cheaper. Evelyn says, meaning I can find meats at restaurants and on the cruise. Yep. Desserts for me will be in short supply. Yeah, that's the only problem going on there. I would take the desserty things or keto chow. I don't know if you can get heavy whipping cream on a cruise. You could probably ask for it. But you know, the desserts on the cruise, I mean, unless you're going to cheat, probably not. And I don't recommend doing that because when we went on our honeymoon, I was doing Atkins and then I lost 30 pounds and I gained 25 of it back on a 2-week period on my honeymoon. Rick goes, I saw the vanilla ice cream cone. Do you have chocolate? I don't know. So you have to post emojis in the comments and they will bounce around. And Keto Simple did this. Yep, you can share your channel. Carrie says, they had a sign last time I was on court duty and they let us in and told us to turn the cells off. Then we took a break and they gave up. Okay, I kind of hope that's what happens. Because I didn't book any appointments for my day job tomorrow, but I just assumed, I don't know why, that I'm going to get dismissed or not have to do it. And so I booked appointments with my clients the rest of the week with wishful thinking. So we'll see what happens. There Evelyn goes, a bunch of hearts. Love it. And they bounce around the screen. What else? What else while we're waiting? Yeah, chocolates. Strawberry used to be my favorite, but I've been like more and more on a chocolate kick. And I love the chocolate toffee keto chow ice cream. And I was supposed to order my single packets this month, but my auto ship accidentally sent me the caramel macchiato, and I like the caramel macchiato, and I also like the salted caramel. But I think I have all of those. So good. I wish I could take my Ninja Creamy with me to Florida. Rick says I'm a chocoholic, Lynn. So Rick, how do you like do Lily's chocolate bars, butterflies? Andy loves butterflies, yes. What do you eat for chocolate, Rick? Post in the comments how you do your chocolate. I have not yet done mix-ins like with chocolate chips in my creamies. I'm trying to stay away from that. I mean, I'm sure it's really delicious to do that, but I'm like, the creamy itself is enough calories and fat and everything on its own. And he says, yay, butterflies flying around. Carrie says, this last time I had keto chow box, someone sent me, I mixed chocolate toffee and pistachio, and it was so good. I need to mix flavors. I keep forgetting to do that, to test how that works. My husband really loves the pistachio. I think I ordered a couple of those for our trip. What? Put like bacon bits into the ice cream? Like bacon ice cream? I'm not opposed to that, Carrie. Aw, I haven't had any chocolate in 3 years. That's sad. We have bought the Lily's candy bars, but they're really high in carbs. I mean, so I try not to eat them. I try to do the keto chow ice cream instead. And then I only make desserts on occasion, like for holidays and stuff. Ooh, Andy, I'm waiting for my butterscotch and chocolate malt big bags to get here. I also bought fruity cereal. Fruity cereal just doesn't sound good to me, but the butterscotch sounds really good. So I can't wait to hear how that is. Ziggy, how much time left on the timer?
You have 3 minutes and 30 seconds left on your 20
Ooh,
minute
let
timer.
me look at them just to see how they're doing. Oh, oh man. Oh, and I have a little, let me get this out. I have a little handle. I don't know if you can see this. I found this in the drawer. I was looking for something else and I found, oh, I think I just broke that. Whoops. I have a little rubber handle for the skillet. But man, these smell so good. Carrie says, Two Crazy Ketos did that with a creamy with bacon and they said it tasted good. Not sure I remember what flavor. Okay, I'm going to put some hot pads out here because the one thing about baking with cast iron skillets is they get incredibly hot. Andy says it's delicious. I'm assuming you're talking about the bacon and the creamy. Andy says, and you're fasting, you have more willpower than I do. I'm not saying it's the easiest thing, but I am probably gonna, I think after this, I'm gonna try out my new, I got one of those waffle makers that Just Jason Keto, I don't know if he's still here or not, recommended, but you can slide in and out I don't know if I'm gonna do that or if I'm gonna use I have this other dash maker that makes square, like bread sized pieces, because I think I gotta make a sandwich for tomorrow. Carrie says the butterscotch is a flavor Two Crazy Ketos made, and they were using it to make butterbeer. Butterbeer? And I have the butterscotch was good. What's butterbeer? Anything with butter is good. I would eat a piece of butter right now. I'm hungry. These rolls look so amazing. I shouldn't have opened that door because I just got a whiff of bacon and cheese. Post in a comment if you think you would make these. They're really easy. They're really not hard. They're great for holidays. I usually only make them around the holidays because when people are eating biscuits or rolls or Hawaiian rolls or something like that, I want an option. The other thing they say that you can do that I'm not going to do tonight since I'm not eating them is you can brush them with melted butter and sprinkle with some more dried parsley. Carrie says the last time I was not feeling good and fasted for 4 days. Butterbeer. Yeah, you can get butterbeer at Universal Studios Harry Potter Land, I think. That makes sense. I'm not a Harry Potter fan. I know I'm probably like upsetting some people. My husband is, so don't hate me totally. We do have someone in the family who likes Harry Potter. And my daughter, when she was growing up, my husband would take her at midnight to go get the books when they were first released, and then she would stay up all night. I would find her on the couch, still awake, reading the books. There was one where the dog died, and I remember getting up at like 7 in the morning and finding her bawling on the couch. Yeah, Andy says Harry Potter delicacy, butter beer. I remember now. I remember. Water. I'm drinking just water. After this, though, I'll probably take my retainers out and I probably will make some green tea. Ooh, okay, hold on. There is our timer, folks. Okay, so at some point, I'm going to have to share the links to these oven gloves. My girlfriend, Ziggy, stop. My girlfriend down the street gave these to me for Christmas, and they're the best things, especially for hot skillets. All right, let's check these out. Oh my gosh. I think they're done. All right, wait till I show you this. Now this one I'm just going to leave over here. These skillets are really, really hot. I'm going to turn off. Now I'll probably have to recut these. Okay, let me bring this skillet over here. Wait till you see this. All right, let me turn the camera. Let me put my oven glove back on so I don't burn myself. Actually, let me put this little thing on here like that. I don't know if you can see this or not. Look at those. These are so delicious. I'm gonna let these cool down. I'll probably have to recut them. I'm not gonna do anything with them right now because these are so hot. But they puffed up. They're almost like bacon cheese. What are those biscuits at Red Lobster? The Cheddar Bay biscuits? So delicious. Um, oh man, they smell so good now. So I'm gonna take one over to my mom and my dad so they can try it. They're so delicious. Carrie says that is cool not being a Harry Potter fan. I have read all the books. Yeah, most people who have become addicted to them and read them, so I'm sure they're good. Yeah, Lynn doesn't do the Harry Potter at all. Honestly, um, sorry, my windows are open if you hear those loud vehicles behind my house. Um, I did have an Audible subscription. I do more audiobooks now, and I probably have listened to over 500 health books from Dr. Barry. I mean, to just all kinds of different books. Um, Andy says 23 years ago I was reading and the books after the movies came out. Yep. Bruce Lee's favorite drink is water. That's awesome. Yes, actually, Carrie, I am a Notre Dame fan. That's where I got my degree from. Well, my bachelor's degree. Yes, I am a Notre Dame fan. Thank you. My daughter was newborn when they came out. Has it been that long ago? Because Brittany is my daughter's like 30, and she was like 13 when I met. She's my stepdaughter. She was like 13 when I met Dennis when she was reading them. So that's probably about right. Okay, so would you all make these? You think you're gonna make these? They're delicious. They're easy. Um, I had all the ingredients here. I had every single ingredient. So really, you can make these at any time. Let me just show them to you again. Ooh, that's really hot. Hold on. Pick this up like this. Yummy. Delicious. Actually, I may have one of these for breakfast in the morning. Sounds like a plan. Would you make these? Do you think you'll make these? I think they're really a good option for holidays. And like I said, they remind me the Cheddar Bay biscuits from Red Lobster. Yeah, Andy says I do Audible too. Get the Libby app and connect. Okay, so I have a couple of other apps that connect to our local library, and we have Mishawaka and South Bend, and I have both of those because I live in Mishawaka, but we also own a house in South Bend, so I use that address to get that library card for free. Carrie says, when I can get the ingredients, I will make the biscuits. Harry Potter came out in 2001, and a lot of the actors have died. Oh, that's sad. Did the old guy die? Or is that another? No, I think that was Harry Potter. Yes, Libby is awesome. I'll have to check that out. Thank you. I haven't really been, since I found YouTube, since I found YouTube, I used to do Audible. And now, while I'm cooking and cleaning and doing stuff, I just watch people's YouTube streams. So YouTube is kind of replaced. I canceled my Audible subscription and I'm more on YouTube these days, obviously, since Keto Palooza. I just want to thank you all for being here. This is really not a job to me. This is a community, and I just love sharing and testing recipes. I know most of the people who are in the live stream, you guys all have been doing this a while. You're all seasoned. I originally started doing this for my Facebook group because a lot of them hadn't started keto or are new and were asking for recipes. But I'm hoping some pique your interest and say, "Ooh, I should maybe try that." So if you need ideas, And these aren't all my recipes. Most of the creators I've gone to and gotten permission to use their recipes. A few of them haven't responded, but I always give credit to them, that these are their recipes, because I do write my own recipes, but I'm not, I have a full-time job. I take care of a 94-year-old with dementia. I sing in 2 choirs. I don't have time to necessarily write full-time recipes. So, yeah, I do promote other creators, and most of the creators, as long as you link back to their original recipe, they're totally fine with that. Carrie says, I have a Kindle with all my books, and I have it half filled. I have a lot of books on my computer. That's awesome. Aw, Andy says, we love you too. We love you. Oh, the biscuits look so delicious. And again, it says to melt butter and put some extra chives on them, but I'm not eating them tonight, so I'm not going to do that. Carrie says, I poured some salt and pepper on my, since she said they were seasoned. Pepper on mine since she said they were seasoned. That's awesome. Oh, Jason, yeah, I multitask too when people are live streaming, just because I'm so busy that usually I listen to people's live streams. I try to make a chat here or there. A lot of times I'm cooking or cleaning or working on my own videos. Oh, speaking of which, again, if you haven't checked out my taco pizza video, please go back and watch it. It's not very long, maybe 8 minutes or so. The other thing I'm thinking of coming out, I did a pork belly bites video, but I'm thinking of doing a smoked pork belly bites, smoked pork belly bites and chicken. So I'm thinking of doing that next. I started a little notepad of all of my recipe ideas. So I have a lot to come up. Oh, my speaker's going in and out. Okay. Well, oh, Carrie says my joke bombed, Amy. I'm sorry, I didn't get it. It's me. Okay, Andy says my speaker is going in and out. So with that being said, I have to clean up this. I have to take some over to my dad. I'm probably gonna go ahead and end the live stream. Oh wow, Jason is talented. How do you listen to 3 live streams at once? That's crazy. You are amazing. I'm probably going to end this because I have a lot to cook and get ready for tomorrow. Gotta figure out my lunch. My whole schedule and stuff is messed up, like just mentally. I'm a very structured. I don't know how I'm going to do on vacation. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be like, what am I doing? Because I'm very structured. Have a great and cheesy night, everyone, when Amy ends. Rick says, good night, all. Bye, friends. Okay, with that, everybody, I love you all. Have a great night, and we'll see you next week. We're going to go ahead and end this. See you later. Have a great week. If I can find my outro. My gosh. There we go.